I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to have to ask God for forgiveness before I even start speaking. First of all, how was your day? Mine was a day I had to bury my grandmother today. Not just me. She died, even though she's right here with me right now. Hey, girl. Yeah, so that was interesting. But I would just like to say that I would have to straight bury myself if I missed a week of recording. Okay. And when I'm sad and miserable and anxious, the only thing that helps me is creating alchemy. If you want to learn more about that, you can get the Art of Alchemy course. I have been thinking a lot about, how do I say this? Death, I guess. Yeah. And I do think sometimes it is a good thing to bring to the forefront of your mind how short this journey really is, because it can encourage us to take bold action, to go after our dreams. In fact, the number one regret among the dying is that they didn't live as they actually wanted to live. And that makes me think about things. And this is why I had to apologize, because I have to be honest. God, I am so sorry for what I'm about to say about your mere mortal children made in your image. Okay? Most people, I gotta say, mediocre losers. I'm so sorry. I know I'm not supposed to say that. I know I meant to not say that. That would make me a liar. So I gotta be honest, and I have to say the truth. When I look around and I ponder, I literally think, how could someone even say that? How could someone even do that? Why are they being that way? Most people are okay with the mundane. Most people are okay with the mediocre. Most people are just blah, blah. And you are letting those mediocre, loserish, sorry, God, like I said, blah people dictate what you do because you're afraid of being judged by them. Okay. Yeah, this episode is going to be that kick in the ass that possibly we all need. Here's the thing. You cannot fake your vibration. You can't fake your frequency. You can't do it. Hello, Anna Delvey. How are you? Yeah, Anna Delvey tried to fake it to everyone else that she was this heiress. And what happened is it worked for a little, but eventually the energetic universe caught up with her. You can try to fake confidence. You can try to fake that you have money. That's literally all of Instagram. You can try to fake cool girl, chill girl energy. Eventually, the universe is going to catch up with you because energy doesn't lie. So many people are so concerned about faking it till they make it, when actually it's just about embodiment. The universe doesn't listen to what you post. It doesn't listen to what you fake. It doesn't listen to what you try. It listens to what are you broadcasting. Anna Delvey tried to convince everyone around her that she was this heiress. Who did she not convince? Who did she forget to convince? All right, herself. Because every night, I'm sure she was cuddling up to, oh my God, how the hell am I supposed to continuously fake this? How the hell am I supposed to continuously do this? How the hell am I supposed to take tomorrow's next steps? When you're performing, you'll attract an audience. It won't be the one that you want, though. This incarnation is not about performance, but embodiment. Not about pretending, but being. And your frequency will always tell on you in the end. Your frequency will always show your true colors in the end, especially to you. It is spooky season, and I think the scariest, spookiest thing are mediocre losers who judge you and try to cage you in the same cage that they live within. And I know, as I said, it's October, but it is about, it's time to take off your mask. Yeah, it's time to take off your costume, and it's time to allow yourself to be rewild into your authentic essence, to come home to who you truly are so you can get all that's truly yours. How can you claim what's yours when you're not even embodying the energy you came to incarnate as? If you want to recalibrate your reality, it starts with taking off the mask, taking off the costume, and showing up fully in your divine essence, whatever that might be. Too many of us are looking over our shoulder, looking over there, waiting for permission from others, waiting, what are they going to think? From mere mortals. Oh, that's the scariest, spookiest thing I've ever heard in my life. God, could you imagine anything worse? No, I really cannot. I cannot. If they don't get it, bless their heart. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You came here for you. Today, we're going to talk about how pretending to be healed, pretending to be the cool girl, pretending to be detached, like you're over it, actually blocks the very thing you want. The truth of the matter is, you don't manifest what you act like, you manifest what you are. What's up, positive bitches? How are we doing today? If you're hearing this episode, then you are meant to be here. So keep listening on that Bitches Positive podcast. Sometimes we're going to laugh, other times we're going to cry, but we will always walk away feeling our most empowered, positive bitch self. That is babe in true connection with herself, himself, or human self. On this podcast, we unbecome who we are not, so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. If you have not yet gotten your copy of my book, Show Up As Her, be sure to get that. It will give you an exact technique to quantum leap. If you are desiring to attract better partners, then get the pedestal path. Learn how to up that confidence. Of course, if you're not loving your reality, do some shadow work and get the Shadow Alchemy course. I have a plethora of workbook, courses, books, even mugs that can help you manifest every single morning. I'm also now doing recorded 10-minute energy readings. You can DM me on Instagram to find out about pricing and all of the details. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at vibinwithcc. All the links are in the show notes. Let's first talk about performance over presence. Anna Delvey failed to convince herself of this star self-concept that she so badly wanted. The universe caught up with her. Her frequency had a tell-all, and she was not even invited. And that's why she went to jail and wears a monitor on her ankle. Once that case blew up and she actually started to get paparazzi, she actually started to be in headlines, she then started to believe, oh my God, it's actually happening. I can see it in my reality. And then she did end up getting gigs on podcasts, on Dancing with the Stars. Can we stop making people who question mark why they're famous? What are we doing? God, I really am trying not to be completely and utterly disgusted with the world and culture. But Lord Jesus, is it difficult sometimes? Anyway, performing is trying to manipulate yourself. It's self-abandonment. It's a subconscious letter to your inner being that you're not good enough, that you're not whole enough, that you actually don't have what it takes to get all that you desire. So you have to pretend, you have to perform. And I know, you know, this comes from our childhood jazz hands. Yeah. If you didn't know, we are all born subconsciously knowing that we need our parents to take care of us. So starting as early as really an infant, we will learn, should I cry or should I not cry? What gets my parents' attention? What gets me a bottle of milk? Sometimes I do think, why are we drinking cow's milk? Why are we drinking cow's milk? We used to drink our mother's milk. Why are we drinking a different animal's milk? It's just something to think about. I was saying that as an infant, we will start to change our behavior, manipulate our behavior to get the bottle, to get their attention, to get love. And we don't stop doing this. We continuously will mold ourselves into whoever we think we have to be in order to get our parents' attention, even if that means choosing to be the rebel, because negative attention is still attention and connection at the end of the day. Performing the role you decided you had to be when you were, I don't know, a 4-year-old is not going to get you the reality that you want. It's not going to work. Performance is repellent presence is magnetic. Instead of pedestaling, centering your caregivers, and I know everyone and their father says you really need to decenter men. You know who you actually need to decenter? Your parents. You need to decenter whoever you crave love from the most, because they are the ones who have manipulated your mind to center men in the first place. Why do you think you abandon yourself every time you get into a relationship? You think you were born in a vacuum? No, you learned that attachment map. You learned that as your vehicle of connection. Subconsciously, you learned that in order to have them, in order to get them, you have to abandon yourself, because that's what you did in order to get your parents' affection and attention. But you need to understand that your parents are just people. They don't know it all. I know. We think, oh my God, these are our superheroes. They are just injured children in adult bodies. Everyone is, actually, to be honest, unless they're really doing the work. Instead of pedestaling who your parents wanted you to be, the good girl, the top student, amazing at every sport, even though you feel depleted and you hate your life, instead of centering them, why don't you ask yourself, what do I actually want? And maybe you don't even know, so you need to experiment in your life. You need to take yourself out on dates. You need to start asking yourself self-questions. How do I feel? What do I want? What makes me happy? What do I have a passion for? How do I want to leave this earth better than when I found it? What do I want my mission to be? What do I feel called towards? You need to decenter your parents, and you gotta center yourself, because the only person who actually truly knows why you're on this planet is you. And it's locked away in your heart's desires. Your vision has been shown to you because you are the one meant to carry it out. You have desires in your heart because you need momentum to actually build those desires into physical form. Before you say, do, be anything, you have to ask yourself, am I doing this to be seen by others, or am I doing this to be seen by myself? Am I doing this so I can feel connected to someone else, or am I doing this because this is what is authentic to me? You will never get the right answers if you don't start asking yourself the right questions. And I know that most of this is truly unconscious territory. And it's uncomfortable, and it's kind of awkward. But you know what? If you want your manifestations to find you, they cannot find you while you're wearing the mask of who you think you have to be in order to be loved. Your manifestations, your blessings, your good karma, your divine inheritance cannot find you while you are performing a role you decided you had to embody in order to be loved. How are things that are an energetic match for your core essence supposed to find you when you're not broadcasting your core essence? Anyone? Anyone got an answer? It can't. There's the answer. I'm giving it to you. It can't find you. The way your manifestations, your blessings, the right people, the love of your life finds you, the way that happens is you give yourself permission to drop the mask. You give yourself permission to show up as who it is you truly are. The only person who can give you permission, by the way, for this is you. Yeah, you are an adult now. You're an adult now. You're old enough to know, I'm pretty sure I feel lost right now. I'm pretty sure I'm not embodying who I actually am. I'm pretty sure I feel dead inside. Yeah. Perhaps being dead inside while still alive is worse than being dead in the ground. I don't know. I can feel my grandma's spirit right now. She's pretty happy. She has peace, love, and joy. She is one with God right now. However, I look around on the planet and I'm like, whoa, it's giving NPC, non-player character. It's giving dead inside. It's giving nothing behind the eyes. Yet, you seem to be so consumed with what a non-player character even thinks of you. And by the way, if you don't know what that is, I'm not a gamer girl. I don't know if that's obvious or not, but I'm not. However, I do know what an NPC is. An NPC is just a background character there to kind of spruce up the scene. But no one's actually playing that character. It might as well be a tree. You are so concerned about what other people are thinking of you, how they're judging you. But what is that costing you? Your manifestations, your good karma, your divine inheritance, your happiness, your joy, your bliss, your ability to flow? What is it costing you? I remember when I cared about what other people thought of me, and I was a caged animal. A caged animal. And you know who was the most miserable? Me. They were happy because I was living in accordance to their boxes. I was living in accordance to their cages. They were comfortable with it. But as soon as I said, you know what, F it, I'm just going to start posting. I didn't really have friends at that point anyway, so it wasn't a high stakes scenario for me. But as soon as I did that, I felt so much joy, so much pleasure that I said, oh my God, why didn't I do this prior? Why didn't I do this sooner? If only I had done this sooner, I would have realized that following my desires makes me so much happier than people who are not really my friends and that are going to judge me anyway. Who cares what mere mortals think of you when you have the divine behind you every single day? Who cares what NPCs think of you when you have 8-foot ancestors behind you from multidimensional places? Because these ancestors are not just physically your bloodline, they are spiritually your bloodline. And a lot of them are freaking huge. Who cares what Betsy and Brad has to say when you have a divine mission that God himself is trying to push through you? Are you really going to sabotage your success for comfort from Brad and Brittany and Betsy? That sounds like a miserable existence. That sounds pretty freaking bad. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? This life is the blink of an eye. And that's why we sign up for such harsh circumstance, because we know that a human life is so short, it's so little, it's so tiny. We are eternal. We are eternal. One day you're not going to be this person anymore. You'll be someone else in the next incarnation, but you're not ever going to get to be this character ever again. So you better get to know the energy you came here to embody. You better get to know who this person is, who this person wants to be, what this person wants to birth. The thing is, you can try to continuously lie and say that, yeah, you're fine, you're happy. You can try to fit into that group that you don't even want to be friends with. But your nervous system is going to beat you every single time. I can say, I'm fine. But if my nervous system is consistently in a sympathetic state, fight, flight, freeze, or appease, what do you think's going to win? My measly, I'm fine, or the cortisol pumping through my body, which is affecting my mood? This is not a tough question, and I know you know the answer. What happens over time is that little mood becomes your whole entire personality, and it becomes your whole entire energetic broadcast. And all the universe can hear from you is not your little words. No, your words are to train you, not the universe. Your words are to train your mind, your nervous system. The universe doesn't speak English. The universe speaks energy. So it doesn't matter how much you say you're fine if your nervous system is saying you're not. Your nervous system is always going to beat your word because your nervous system is having a biochemical reaction in your body. And it's causing your energetic signature. And that is what the universe understands. Affirmations are not for the energetic universe. They're for you to rewire your mind to then rewire your mood. First you have a thought, then the thought has a biochemical reaction in your body. And then that will affect your broadcast. If you keep telling yourself you're fine, but you're outside in the sun getting a sunburn, it doesn't matter how much you say you're fine, you're getting a sunburn, you will be red, and you will have consequences to deal with later. The sun doesn't understand your words. The energetic universe doesn't understand your words. Your words are for you to work on your mindset, to rewire you, which will then later rewire your mood, rewire your nervous system, and then lastly, rewire your reality. First and foremost, you got to pay attention to what is my nervous system telling me. Instead of trying to slap a happy face on your miserable nervous system, why don't you actually just acknowledge what's going on? Why don't you actually just take care of it? Why don't you actually just rest? Because that's going to afford you a better reality than trying to lie to yourself. Affirmations are great, again, because they rewire your mind, which will eventually have an effect in your physical reality. But my intuitive feeling is you don't need more affirmations. You need alignment. You need to relax. You need to stop worrying about what mere mortals think of you. And you need to start asking yourself, what do I think of me? What do I want? What does alignment look like for me? Acting high vibe while ignoring your emotions is like spraying perfume on trash. Putting pearls on a pig. Yep. What is the point of that? There is none. And the more you spend time with people you don't even like, the more you become the energetic average of them. You become less of you and more of them. What does that do? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps delay all your manifestations. Perhaps delay your happiness. Perhaps delay what it is you actually want. If you have to have a season of isolation, who cares? Do you know how many seasons of isolation I've had? Who cares? I haven't drank any alcohol in 3 months, not for any specific reason. I just want to detox. I want to cleanse my system. And honestly, the people I was aligning with, quite frankly, disgusted me. So I said to myself, you know what? I got to take a break from this alcohol thing. I want to do a little cleanse. I want to get more into my body. And you know what happened? I ended up aligning with better people because I could hear myself more. I was more of my own energy instead of going out every weekend, depleting myself, meeting dummies. And again, God, I'm sorry, but some of these mere mortals are literally idiotic. They are. They are. Those are your children, and you will love them all. I don't have to. Oh, I can do it from afar. I'll do it from afar. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I can love them from afar. It's fine. My point being, a girl chose alignment, which means saying no sometimes to going out, to drinking. A girl chose to take a break. A girl chose to listen to her own self and not care about missing out on mere mortals. I know there is a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. But you know what? I would like to ask you, do you not fear missing out on your potential? Do you not fear missing out on what you can create? Are you not at least curious for what you can do if you just perhaps locked in? I always refer to this, but David Goggins said, I want even God to be shocked at what David Goggins could do because not even God could predict it. And that's exactly how I feel about Cece. I want to shock myself. I want to shock God. I want to shock my angels. I want to shock everyone. I want to see how far I can take this incarnation. And that is why I don't want to be mediocre. Mediocrity, hell no. No. That's grotesque to me. Now, some people are like, the middle way. And I get it. I get it. Some people are all about balance. I'm an extremist. I'm an extreme personality. I have extreme views. And I'm a very intense person. I will say I have my own definition of balance. Okay, I will extremely work and extremely rest. I will do extreme research and then have an extreme opinion. Yeah. I believe in being extreme because the more momentum, passion, energy you put behind something, the more successful you and it is going to be. Now, most people, when I am like this, and I had friends that were not like this, they would say, Cece, you're doing too much. Cece, you're going to be gluten-free. That's so weird. That's so embarrassing. Like, you don't really actually have to do that. Thank you so much for your unresearched, uneducated, quite frankly, dumb opinion. Consider the source. You cannot just be taking anyone and everyone's opinion, especially not to heart. No, no, no. Illegal in your reality. Not allowed. I will not allow it anymore. No, no, no. You have to understand to stop looking for validation in places that only make you feel miserable. And I know that a lot of us, it can be a friend, it can be a parental figure, it can be a sibling. We will repeatedly try to knock on that same door and say, look how proud you should be of me. Look, I finally got my diploma. Finally got my degree. I finally got the relationship. I finally made this amount of money or got this followers. I finally did it. Yeah. And you tell them, and then they're like, well, actually, your other sibling did that. Or actually, I did that when I was an infant in utero before I could even speak. I knew 7 languages. Like, you know what I mean? There's always that thing that they can say. And I was talking to someone today, and he was telling me about this book where this guy had a really, really tough life. It's some self-help book. I don't know the name of it. If you want to find out, well, I guess you can DM me, but I don't know it. So perhaps don't. Anyway, there was this man, and he had a tough life, and he ended up in his 20s making millions of dollars. He worked very hard. He became very educated, something with real estate, yada, yada. And when he finally bought a house that was millions of dollars on the water, he had his father come over, and his father did not say one word to him besides, you need a new roof, or there's a stain on the roof. Okay, obviously I don't have all the details of the story, but you get the gist of it. He did all of these things. He had come so far, and all his father could see was that there was a stain or he needed a new roof. His father was blind to the fact his son made millions. His father was blind to the fact that his son was uber successful despite all of these obstacles that he made into opportunity. His father could not truly even show his son how proud he was of him, how much he loved him, how happy he was for him. And maybe his father was, maybe his father wasn't. But in that moment, the guy was crushed. Because once again, he wanted the validation from a place he knew he's never gotten it before. So why do we keep going to these mere mortals, whether they are our parents or our peers? Why do we keep going to the places that hurt us and expecting them to heal us? Why do we keep going to the places that don't validate us but make us feel stupid and trying to get them to understand us? If they can't see you, it's nothing to do with you. They need to update their prescription. They need contacts. They need glasses. It's nothing to do with you. If you can't see you, then that's your problem. That is your responsibility. You need to date yourself. You need time in isolation. You got to read a book. You got to spend time meditating. You got to get to know who you even are. You not seeing you is your problem. Them not seeing you is their problem. We assume that we need confidence to do something, but oftentimes you don't get confidence until after you do the thing. I didn't start believing in myself really until after I started posting and it started to gain momentum. In doubt, do anyway. In doubt, go for it anyway. No one ever said, hey, hi, how are you? In the perfect season at the perfect moment, you're going to feel everything align. It'll be sunshine and rainbows, and you will feel so confident, and you will put everything to the forefront of your reality, and it will all work out and be beautiful. No one said that. No one said that. In fact, the collective I channel for, the collective I speak to, we didn't sign up for easy. We signed up for legacy. That came up in a channel today. So, what does that mean? It means, girl, you better put those horse blinders on. You better run. You better stay focused. You better lock in. You better follow that heart. Follow your desire, your knowing, your intuition. You have to. There's no other way to live. I tried it. Take it from me. I tried living in accordance to other people's cages. That shit sucked. I tried being who other people wanted me to be, the good girl, the perfect girl. That shit sucked. That sucked. And I have to really say, I recently had a conversation, I believe I spoke about it, where someone had said to me, you don't have to perform with me. And I was so caught off guard. I was like, ooh, Say who, what, where, when, what? Because we forget we're performing. When you are so used to being the one to be the mediator, the fixer, the healer, the one who has to hold it all together, you forget that you're holding it all together. You don't even realize how heavy the backpack of emotional burdens you're carrying is on your back. You forget. When you go to a scary movie and there's a jump scare and you're like, oh, we forget that we're at the scary movie. We forget that it's just a film. We have forgotten we're playing roles. We have forgotten this world is just a simulation and we can change it. We have forgotten that it's not about convincing other people. It's not about acting as if. It's about choosing to completely alter, unbecome who we are not so we can embody who we truly are. Embodiment over performance. Healing doesn't require pretending, okay? It requires you giving yourself permission. It requires you being brave enough to say, I'm just going to let this mask fall. And you know what? You don't even have to be brave. You just have to decide to do it anyway. I know everyone and their father is obsessed with the Let Them theory by Mel Robbins, I believe. And it's cool. I just don't care enough what people are doing. I just don't. I don't have enough time in the day to be clocking everyone's moods and movements. So, I have something different. I have something new, okay? It's called the Let Yourself theory. The Let Yourself theory. Let yourself be all of yourself. Let yourself be messy. Let yourself be mystical. Let yourself be the rebel. Let yourself embody Lilith. Let yourself embody the Blessed Mother. Let yourself cry. Let yourself. If you came to this planet to embody you, and you know the only way to embody you is to give yourself permission, then you need to start letting yourself. It's as simple as that. Let yourself be full of yourself. People think being full of yourself is a bad thing. What? Shouldn't you be full of yourself, full of your energy, all of yourself online all the time? Hello, yes. Forget about let them, okay? Who cares what they're doing? They're mere mortals. I don't have enough time. Let yourself, because yourself, your broadcast, that's what's affecting your reality. It doesn't matter what Brad and Chad and Brittany and whoever, it doesn't matter what they're doing. It does not matter. What matters is what you're allowing yourself to be and embody. What matters is what you're giving yourself permission to broadcast. What matters is what you're saying to yourself, which is then affecting your mood, which is then affecting your broadcast, which is then affecting your reality. Let yourself be yourself. You came here to know this person, to be this person, so let yourself be yourself. The moment you drop the act, the moment you stop perceiving yourself from their point of view and start living in your own skin, in your own body, you start asking yourself, what do I think? What do I feel? What do I sense? Guess who becomes the most magnetic person in the room? You do. Guess how much your aura expands when you decide to start living on your own terms, then on terms from people you don't even want to be like, you don't even want to learn from, you don't even want to embody. If you want big aura energy, if you want to be completely magnetic, if you want a different life, if you want to liberate yourself, if you want to feel free, baby, you got to give yourself permission, whether you feel ready to or not, to drop the performance, to drop the mask, and to allow yourself to be completely rewild. Allow yourself to be the good girl, the bad girl, the rebel, the mystic, the mess, the happy girl, the miserable girl, all of it, because every single part of you is deserving of love and light. And every single part of you, whether you deem it appropriate, whether you deem it lovable, God sees it as worthy, valuable, and deserving. So maybe you had a misfiring, a miswiring in this area, and you have convinced yourself that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you have to pay more attention to how people view you than how you view yourself. But you know what the divine says? The divine says, I made you and I made you perfect. Whew. I made you and I made you so valuable. I made you and I made you so beautiful, so precious, so wonderful, so magnetic. You were born magnetic. You were born lovable and loving. You were born beautiful. You were born confident. Anything that deviates from that is a learned behavior from people you are begging for breadcrumbs from. They can't even feed themselves. How can you expect them to give you a breadcrumb? Would you ask someone who's financially illiterate to give you financial advice? Would you ask someone who you think has terrible style to style you? Would you ask someone who had none of their life together to give you life advice? Okay. Then stop begging for breadcrumbs from people who don't even have enough food to feed themselves. It is your responsibility to stop going to the same people who have hurt you to heal you. It is your responsibility to stop asking for permission and instead give it to yourself. It's your responsibility to stop asking people to fix your crown and for you to just glue it on that damn head. Your throne is yours as soon as you claim it, as soon as you decide it is yours. Think about Cleopatra. Do you envision her saying, do you mind if I could you just please give me my throne? She said, no, you're going to try to kill me? Guess what? Any weapon formed against me will be greeted with larger weapons. Let's go. I love this game. Goddesses of love are also goddesses of war. Yeah, we're multidimensional in this podcast. We're multidimensional in this realm. We're multidimensional over here in this corner of the universe. So we are not going to siphon. We're not going to suppress. We're not going to act apart. We're not going to manipulate ourselves, because who does that hurt? Ourselves. Who does that hurt? The little girl within you, the child within you. Could you imagine looking at a child and saying, you know what? I actually need you to be someone else because you're not great. I actually need you to be someone else because you yourself, as you were born, not valuable. I actually need you to be someone else because you have no worth and you are not deserving. Could you imagine saying that to a child? Because that's what you're subconsciously saying to your inner child every single time you manipulate yourself, every single time you perform, every single time you do not allow yourself to rewild yourself. So you want your blessing, so you want a better reality, so you want to see what the universe can do for you. Okay, up your standard on the divine. Raise your standard on the divine and say, I want more. I want bigger. I want better. Something really strange happens, and ooh, it's spooky season. When you up your standard on the divine, it rises to meet you. The same thing happens with your standard on people. Oh, and P.S. If it wasn't clear, the people who are judging you, who steal your joy every time you're really excited to tell them something, those are not your friends, okay? They might have monitoring spirits on them. And what do those spirits want? They want to know your plans so they can wreak havoc in those plans, okay? Your friends and family, they might love you, they might respect you, but if they have these monitoring spirits on them, well, those spirits don't want the best for you. You might think you're only telling your friend or your sister or your mother, but if they have a spirit attached to them, that spirit can hear you too. So maybe this is the season of shh. Maybe this is the season of I'm actually going to close my mouth and stop trying to get validation from other people. I'm going to close my mouth and stop trying to convince other people of who I am. And I'm actually just going to work on myself so I become so confident that my energy speaks for itself. Oh, what an idea. I'm going to stop trying to tell other people what I am, and I'm going to allow my energy to speak for itself. I'm going to stop trying to whisper sweet little nothings into people's ears, and I'm just going to allow people to either digest me or they can simply choke. Not your problem, their responsibility on that one. So. The moral of the story is you can't fake a frequency, but you will F yourself over if you're more concerned with how they're viewing you rather than what you're actually embodying. Why fake it till you make it when you can just learn to become whatever it is you want? How do you become whatever it is you want? It starts with a decision. It starts with giving yourself permission to be who you truly are. Remember, you're not really creating a new person, you're unbecoming who you're not. Again, you were born confident, loving, magnetic. So it's not that you have to recreate yourself. You just have to let go of who you're not. You just have to let go of the layers that you learned out of insecurity. You just have to let some of this shit fall off you, baby. You can't fake a frequency, but if you do, you will F yourself over, like I said. The universe doesn't respond to masks. It doesn't really respond to words either. It responds to what you embody, your frequency, your broadcast. And I know it's spooky season, but it's truly time to take off that costume and show the world who you truly are. Your audience is waiting for you. Your love, your soulmate is waiting for you. Your career, destined path is waiting for you. But it can't find you if you don't show us who you are. So if you can't do it for you, do it for everyone who's meant to experience you. I love you so much. If this episode resonated with you, please leave a positive review on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can. Give this a thumbs up. I really want this podcast to grow in this next year coming up, whatever. This is a 9-year. Next year we have a 1. Hello, new beginnings. Goodbye, old karmic cycles. And I'm going to put my intention out there. Period. I love you so much. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, be sure the link is in the show notes, and I'll see you in the next one. Pray for my grandma. Bye. Mwah.